Hi, I'm Kyle Hobdy with Gotcha Security, and I'm here to guide you through the Alarm.com portal. Now, before we begin, you may ask, what is Alarm.com? Why aren't we going to GotchaSecurity.net? Alarm.com is the platform your alarm panel connects to, and it is where you will manage your user codes, emergency contacts, and other automation services. Gotcha Security is your dealer, and we will install, service, and maintain your alarm system. Your day-to-day operations will be done in Alarm.com, and for service or maintenance, you'll contact Gotcha Security. To begin accessing your account for the first time, navigate to Alarm.com. If you have access to the email address used by the prior manager, you can request a username and password reset through alarm.com. If you don't have access to the prior email address, that's fine. You can open a service ticket by emailing support@gotchasecurity.net and we can start the password reset process for you. Once logged in, you will be asked to verify your email address. You should do that at this time. You will then be directed to the home page. This will be the standard homepage for most users. The demo account may look slightly different than yours, but the basic principles remain the same. From the homepage, you can arm and disarm your panel remotely. You can look at the current status of some of your sensors. So, for example, this would typically be like your front door, your side door, maybe a window, and you can tell if they're open or closed remotely. Also on the front page, you'll have your recent activity. You can see if the panel was recently armed or disarmed, or if anyone's been coming and going recently. On the next tab, we'll have automation. Automation is for creating arming schedules and auto rearming. So if you wanted your leasing office, model, or maintenance shop to be on a specific schedule, you could say, I want the panel to disarm at 8 a.m. and I want it to arm away every night at 6 p.m. You can do that here and you can set up specific schedules. Or you can create auto rearming schedules. For example, if the maintenance shop is disarmed, I want it to rearm itself to stay, at 30 minutes after it's been disarmed. And you can put that on a certain schedule as well. On the next tab here, we'll have notifications. Notifications is not to be confused with your emergency central station. This is general alerts such as low battery, maybe a door was left open, or unexpected activity. For example, if you wanted to know if the door on your model home is left open for more than 20 minutes, you'll come up here to new notification. You'll come down to sensor left open and you'll say contact 1, 20 minutes. Normally these would be labeled, and then we can and then we can add a recipient. So we'll have, Catherine, save, and then Catherine will be notified anytime the door is left open. So there's plenty of notifications here for you to play around with and customize your system. The next tab we have here is activity. This will be the history of your panel and alarm system. So here you'll be able to see when the panel is armed and disarmed, who armed and disarmed it, who's been logging in and out, when doors are opening and closing. If you come up here to the filter tab, you'll be able to see a full list of event types you can sort by, device names or device types, or you can manually come up here to the search bar and you can search for the front door, you can search for a specific employee name or event. The most important tab here will be the Users tab. This is where you'll manage your user codes and logins. A user code is for the alarm panel. Everyone who needs to arm and disarm the panel will need a user code. A login is for remote access and allows you to log into the website or mobile app remotely. Generally, logins are reserved for management or those who need remote access to the system. To add a login, such as managers, you'll click here, Add a Login. You'll type their email address and their username. This will be their username to log in with. After you click Save, they'll receive an email and they'll be able to click a link and log in from there. To add a user, you'll come here to Add a new user at the top. You'll type their first name and last name. and then you'll have to create an access code for them. You can either ask them for a 4-digit code, or you can just click generate code and assign one to them. Here, it's disabled because it's a demo account, but normally you'd want to make sure that this box is checked. This says that they have access to this panel. From here, you'll have the user profile. You can manage the panels they have access to if there's more than one. You can create a schedule for them so you can have all times. So you can create a restricted schedule for maybe you have people who should only be there in the day or maybe the night. And then you have temporary access. So if you have some contractors working in your building and they need temporary access, you can just set it to fall off in a few weeks and you won't have to worry about it. And then if you want your user to be eligible to receive those notification rules, you can come here and you can add their contact information. To quickly go over some best practices, as a new manager, you should now go over your employee list and ensure that everyone who has a code still works there. If you see someone that is no longer an employee, you can just click on these 3 dots and then click delete. Another best practice is that every employee should have their own code. One of the great things about Alarm.com is that you can track who is arming and disarming systems. So we try to give every single employee their own separate code. One last thing to note here is the master account, denoted by the blue star in the word master. This is usually the admin account and it cannot be deleted. At this point in time, you should go into this account and you should change the passcode from the previous manager. The last and final tab will be the Settings tab. The 2 buttons you'll be concerned about here is Login Information, where you can change your login name, email address, or password, and the Monitoring Station button. Your monitoring station settings page should look something similar to this. This is where you will update your emergency contacts and your verbal passcode. It is absolutely vital that these contacts are up to date. In the event of an alarm, these are the contacts and phone numbers that will be called. It's important to note that there is a landline option and then emergency contacts at the bottom. Do not set your leasing office phone number as an emergency contact. At this point in time, we recommend that you do not set a verbal passcode. For the verbal passcode, we recommend you type none into the box. Anyone that you designate as an emergency contact should program this phone number into their cell phone so that way it's not mistaken for spam. That concludes the Alarm.com training. To summarize your next steps, you should go through and verify your email address, change the master code, go through and delete any inactive users, employees that aren't working there anymore. If necessary, you should create new user codes for any employees that are new, so that way no codes are shared. You should go through and update those emergency contacts for Central Station, and then you should ensure that you have this cell phone number or this phone number programmed into your phone. If you have any further questions, you can call us at 678-430-3116, or you can email us at support@gotchasecurity.net to create a service ticket with us.